Have you ever wondered what really happened in the Garden of Eden? Why one choice changed everything for all of humanity? In today's story, discover how Adam and Eve's decision led to the first sin and the beginning of God's amazing plan to save the world. Let's go back to where it all began. Long ago, in the very first days of the earth, God created a paradise called Eden. In this perfect garden, Adam and Eve lived in harmony with nature, each other, and their Creator. Crystal clear rivers flowed through vibrant green fields, and trees heavy with fruit shaded them from the sun. In their innocence, they felt no shame, walking freely in the presence of God. At the center of the garden stood two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam and Eve a simple command. You may eat from any tree except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat from it, you will surely die. But one day, as Eve strolled through the garden, she found herself near the forbidden tree. Its fruit gleamed in the sunlight, more tempting than any other. Suddenly, a serpent slithered into view. This was no ordinary serpent. It was cunning and had a voice that dripped with deception. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The serpent asked. Eve hesitated but replied, We may eat from any tree, but God said we must not eat or even touch this one, or we will die. The serpent smiled slyly. You will not surely die. God knows that when you eat it, your eyes will be opened. You will be like Him, knowing good and evil. As the serpent's words echoed in her mind, Eve's curiosity grew. She stepped closer, gazing at the fruit. Adam stood nearby. Silently, she reached out her hand. Eve plucked the fruit from the tree and took a bite. At first, nothing seemed to happen. She turned to Adam and handed him the fruit. Without a word, he too ate it. And in that instant, their eyes were opened, but not in the way they had hoped. For the first time, they realized they were naked, and shame overwhelmed them. Hastily, they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. As the cool evening breeze rustled through the trees, they heard the sound of God walking in the garden. Fear gripped their hearts, and they hid among the trees. Adam, where are you? God's voice called. Adam trembled as he replied, I heard you in the garden and was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. Who told you that you were naked? God asked. Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from? Adam pointed to Eve. The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit, and I ate it. God turned to Eve. What is this you have done? The serpent deceived me, she confessed, and I ate. With sadness, God pronounced the consequences of their actions. The serpent was cursed to crawl on its belly and would always be at enmity with humanity. Eve would experience great pain in childbirth and face challenges in her relationship with Adam. Adam, too, would now toil endlessly to grow food from the cursed ground until he returned to the dust from which he was made. Yet even in judgment, God showed mercy. He made garments of skin to clothe them, covering their shame in a way their fig leaves never could. It was a symbol of His care, even in the midst of their disobedience. God said, Man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not eat from the tree of life and live forever. And so, Adam and Eve were sent out of the Garden of Eden. Cherubim with flaming swords guarded the entrance to the garden, ensuring no one could return. As Adam and Eve walked away, they looked back at the paradise they had lost. Their hearts were heavy with regret, but deep inside, they carried a spark of hope. For even in their darkest moment, God had promised a Redeemer, a Savior who would one day restore what had been broken. And that's the story of how Adam and Eve made a big mistake, but how God's love was even bigger. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join us next time for more amazing Bible adventures.